What if you could have perfect luck? I mean, never lose luck. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Well, some stories, especially horror stories, are basically giant warnings to be careful what you wish for. Sometimes, a perfect wish can become a perfect prison. And that's exactly what we're going to break down in this explainer, a really chilling tale about a guy who got everything he ever wanted and the absolutely terrifying price he had to pay for it.
So the story kicks off with this line, "Today, no one can defeat me." You know why? Because my name is Lucky. That is some serious confidence, right? It's the first thing we hear, and spoiler alert, it's also the last. But as we're about to find out, there's a really dark, chilling secret hiding behind that simple sentence. All right, so where does our story start? Of course, it's a casino. I mean, where else do tales of great fortune and total ruin usually begin? The air is just thick with tension. We're jumping right into the final round of a high-stakes card game. This is the setup, you guys, where everything, and I mean everything, is on the line. So what are we talking about here? What's actually at stake? A cool 2 million rupees. Yeah, that's a life-changing amount of money. The stakes could not possibly be higher. You just know that for one of these guys, tonight ends in complete and utter ruin. But for the other, well, it's the beginning of an unbelievable fortune. And when you look at the two players, the difference is just, it's night and day. You've got Gaurav on one side, and his face is a mask of pure terror. He is so ready to fold, you can feel it. But then you look at the other guy, this man named Lucky, and his confidence is just unreal. So calm, so serene, it almost feels supernatural. So the game ends. Gaurav loses everything, he's completely broken, but he goes and confronts the winner, Lucky. And get this, he doesn't want his money back. No, he wants the secret. How did he do it? This moment right here is the rising action of the story. It's where one man's desperation opens the door for a very, very dark opportunity. He just comes right out and says it. "I also want to become lucky like you." This is Gaurav's desperate plea. It's the exact moment he goes from being a victim of bad luck to someone who wants to control his own destiny. And with that one little sentence, he has no idea, but he's just sealed his fate. And so, Lucky tells him the secret. It's not about skill, it's not about cheating, it's about one thing, and one thing only: sahas. It means courage. You know, the bravery to face danger or pain without fear. But the kind of courage Lucky is talking about? Yeah, it's a whole lot darker than anything Gaurav could possibly imagine. And this is what he needs that courage for. The instructions are laid out like some kind of twisted, dark recipe. Step 1, go to a graveyard, at midnight, of course. Step 2, find the grave of a man who is also named Lucky. Step 3, dig up the grave. And the final step, and this is just horrifying, is to hammer a nail straight into the corpse's head. Okay, so here we are. This is it, the climax of the story. Gaurav, completely fueled by greed and this tiny sliver of hope, actually drives to the graveyard. He's got his shovel, he's got the nail, and he's ready to pay the price for getting that perfect luck. But of course, he starts to hesitate. Who wouldn't? And right then, he remembers Lucky's final piece of advice. Only think about your luck, don't be scared at all. It's such a powerful bit of psychological manipulation, isn't it? Basically telling him to let his greed completely overpower his natural human fear. And you know what? It works. Gaurav just pushes through the terror. He starts digging and digging until he hears that awful, sickening thud. That's his shovel hitting the wooden coffin. The deed is almost done. He has officially crossed the point of no return. So the peak of the horror, that terrifying act, is over. But now we get to the falling action, and this is where the real dread starts to sink in. This is the part of the story where we and Gaurav finally begin to understand the true nature of the bargain he just struck. He wakes up the next morning, and he's safe. He's in his own bed. For just a split second, there's this feeling of hope. He asks himself the exact question we're all thinking. Was it all just a horrible dream? You know, maybe it was just a nightmare, brought on by losing all that money. And then, a voice, seemingly out of nowhere. It completely shatters that hope. It says, "Gaurav, from today, your name is Lucky." The nightmare wasn't a dream. It is his new reality. He didn't just get luck. He has become lucky. And this is where the fine print of the deal becomes crystal clear.
It's basically a parasitic relationship. Sure, you get guaranteed luck. All your desires are fulfilled. But what does it get? What's the price? Well, it gets your blood, your body, and something way worse. You now have to find its next victim, its next host. This brings us to the final act, the denouement, where the whole mystery finally unravels. Gora finds a note in his pocket, one that the original Lucky must have slipped him. And as he reads it, the truly terrifying cyclical nature of this curse becomes crystal clear. The note says, "Thank you, Gaurav, for freeing me from the curse. Find your lucky friend before you die, or it won't leave you." Oh man. The guy he met at the casino, he wasn't some master of luck. He was its prisoner. And he was just desperately looking for anyone foolish enough to take his place.
And just like that, this cycle is complete. Gaurav didn't win anything. He didn't get an advantage. He inherited a curse. He's trapped now, forced to play this part, to be lucky, until he can find and trick someone else into taking his spot.
Which brings us all the way back to the beginning, to that first line. Today, no one can defeat me. You know why? Because my name is Lucky. It's the exact same line. But now we get what it really means. It's not a boast, it's bait. It's the opening line of a trap, just waiting for the next desperate person to walk right into it.
So the story might be over, but the cycle definitely isn't. And it leaves all of us with one final, chilling question that just hangs in the air. Who's going to be the next Lucky?